If you are a Cricut user and you have been wanting to do a print then cut in all-in-one machine and not being able to, I think I may have the answer to your hopes and dreams, because the xTool just launched a brand new machine. It's a full color laser called the xTool M2. In today's video, we are going to find out whether or not Cricut should be worried. Hey there, my crafting friends. My name is Ashlee Falco, and today we're going to be doing three things. We are going to set up the brand new xTool M2. I'm going to do a few projects just to see whether or not this thing is worth all of its hype. And at the very end, I'm going to let you know whether or not this is the Cricut Killer. If you're familiar with the xTool lasers, the xTool M2 is similar to the xTool M1 Ultra. However, it is vastly different. With the M1 Ultra, it has a blade just like a Cricut, while this one right here only has a laser. Now, this particular laser itself has multiple different cameras in multiple different areas, unlike the xTool M1 Ultra. Unlike the M1 Ultra, the M2 comes with a CMYK inkjet module. Unlike the M1 Ultra that only had the CMY, this one has the full scale of colors. So you're going to be able to get rich black ink prints on your products. Now this machine, because it has multiple different cameras, you're going to be able to do rotary engravings with ease because of the camera that is included with this machine. The brand new M2 machine comes in a variety of wattages. I have the 10 watt wattages. However, this also gets offered in 20 and 40 watts. I did want to note that while I only have the 10 watt laser, I did read that you can actually upgrade to an infrared laser, which would allow you to engrave on a bunch of different materials. Just take this gold necklace that I have made with an infrared laser. In the machine, you're also going to get a cleaning wipe. I have a bunch of different starter material, felt, acrylics, and even some printable vinyl. Got some cardstock too. I also have a bunch of wood and even some blanks that I can engrave on. Some more cardstock. And also some printable paper, I think. We got a little toolkit here. Our exhaust vent. We got our alignment tape, the collar for the exhaust vent, the power cord, and also the connection cable. Two things that I would like to note before we start up this brand new laser is going to be the cable for the computer and also the vent. For the cable, for the very first time that you set up your laser, you are going to need to plug in your machine to your computer. Once you set up the Wi-Fi the first time, you actually can unplug the machine and never have to plug your machine back to your computer if you didn't want to. The second thing is going to be this vent. Because this is a laser, no matter what type of laser you're using, you're either going to have to vent out of a window, which I have one here in my craft room, or if it's more easily accessible for you, just get yourself an air filter so you can vent right into an air filter, which is actually what I am going to be using because that is my preferred method of venting for smaller craft lasers like this. All right, I don't want to bore you too much. Let's plug in the machine, hook it up to the computer, and get to crafting. One thing I did notice right away is going to be the new head installation for this machine is only by magnets. So you just click it into place. You would do the same with the inkjet printer. With the laser head installed, I'm just going to turn the machine on. Over on my computer, it will say allow accessory. Awesome, you can see that it already recognizes my device on my computer. We need to set up the device, so we are going to come over here into the plus sign. And look, it's automatically set up. Now I do have to do a firmware update, so let's just do a firmware update. This just ensures that your machine runs at top-notch quality. Now that I have confirmed my update, let's do a couple tester projects. So I'm going to come over here into projects. And let's find a really simple and basic coaster. The greatest thing about the xTool software is that you get access to plenty of free projects like this coaster right here. All I'm gonna do is press open, and we are gonna add to a new project. Now you can see that I have this installed into my project area. What I wanna do is I want to select the material, and for this particular project, I'm gonna be doing their starter material, which is going to be 3mm basswood plywood. So we're gonna find that right here and press apply. You can see that it's already giving me suggested settings. One thing that is a little bit different is that you are gonna notice that there was no honeycomb tray with this laser. Now, xTool created these things right here that you can just clamp your materials down. When you have your clamps put onto your material, you can just lay this down onto the bed, and these things right here have magnets on the bottom, and they will magnetize onto the bed, holding your material in place. Here's an up close of it. You're gonna see that my corners are snapped down into place. Did notice that you're gonna have to use this USB-C here, and then also on the side of the machine. Now that we have that connected, we are gonna shut the lid, and it's gonna start doing the automatic feature, which is taking a picture of what is inside the laser right now. You can see that it was very quick. It automatically saw that we have this picture in here. It does not look bowed at all. It actually is a fairly decent capture. So let's put this in the top left corner of our material because I love not wasting any type of materials. Looks like the settings are already predetermined for us. So let's just press process because that would be it. We're just gonna do one coaster. This coaster is gonna take a total of 17 minutes. Let's pause for a second before we press play and cut this coaster. I do know that 17 minutes for one single coaster seems like a really long time, but if you notice over in the power and speed section, my speed is set to 6. And see that little doggle thing? There is so much more that I can go to the right, meaning I could increase the speed here. Figuring out settings for your machine, there is like an easier way to go about that. This is simply just an unboxing to show you how this machine demonstrates, but I did want to acknowledge the reason why it's going to take so long. And yes, we could increase the speed to make it go faster if we wanted to. I'm going to press start on my computer. Now, before we do anything more, what I'm gonna do is I am going to turn on my air filter. Then what I'm gonna do is at the front of the machine, I'm gonna press this button. Now the machine is going to start doing its cuts. And holy cow, within a matter of minutes, we already have our machine cutting. That is so quick. We are finished with our very first cut, and I have to tell you that I am so amazed with this cutting machine. Look at how fine detailed those cuts are. Front, oop, we got a couple, there we go. There we go. Front, back, zero masking. There's no issues. I'm not gonna have to sand anything. These settings that they gave me for this machine was absolutely perfect on the very first try. That is wild. I am interested in printing, then cutting with this brand new machine. So what I have already done is inserted another sheet of wood inside the machine. I'm going to remove this laser head out of the machine because I want to insert the printing module first. Just clicks right into place. We'll slap that on, and this needs to be plugged into the side of the module. Oh, it looks like we have to do a calibration before we do our very first thing. So I'm gonna need some paper and double-sided tape. So I'll take this out first. We're gonna follow the directions on the screen to set up the calibration. All right, now that we have that calibrated, we'll take this off. Awesome, so let's just close this lid. I already have a design already put up in here that I want to be able to print and then cut. I've already set up my settings. We're gonna do the print first and then the cut. I am going to make this just a bit smaller. Fit this onto my material. Looking good. So now let's just press process. It says I have to have the printer installed. It's going to take a total of 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So we'll just press start. Pressing the front of the machine. We're just going to let the device do the printing. All right, that task is done. We are going to open this up. Look at that print quality. Oh my gosh. One thing I want to mention here is that when you're doing a multi-function thing, like what I'm doing a print and a cut, you do not want to move your material, which is why I never picked it up to show it to you, because it needs to cut now. You'll get a close-up picture here in a second when we're done, but I'm just letting you know that's why I didn't pick it up. And if you get this machine also, when you're doing this, make sure you do not move your material when you're switching out the lasers. That is gorgeous. So we're going to take the print head off. We're going to install the laser head. Just like that. I still can't get over how beautiful that is. We're going to shut the lid. We're going to turn on the fan. This is going to take a total of 2 minutes and 24 seconds to cut out. We're just going to press start, and we're going to press the front of the machine and then let the machine do its cuts. Now that that's complete, look at this. My goodness gracious, a really cool cake topper that was printed and cut, all with the M2, and there's no charring issues whatsoever. That's cool. I want to test cutting felt, so I have some of this fuchsia felt I am just going to put into the machine just like that. There's going to be no bed there. I am going to shut the lid. Over at the software, I found some free files that are also within the xTool program. So when you shut the lid, the background will automatically get captured. And I think I've decided that I'm going to do just one flower. So we'll just put in this one. I think the heart leaves are going to be so cute. So add that in there. And I want to cut these out. It already gives me predetermined settings for the material that I'm going to use. So we're just going to press process. It's going to take 2 minutes for this, and press start. Over at the machine, you are going to turn on your inline fan and press the play button. Now that that's complete, we can open the lid. And look at the xTool, just cut this out perfectly without any issues, front or back. And this was cut so much cleaner and quicker. The Cricut would have never been able to do this. Just to show you what the finished rolled flower looks like, this right here was done so quickly. I honestly think that I just saved myself a bunch of time by cutting fabrics on this machine as opposed to doing it on the craft cutting machines. I know that I haven't really shown you all the ins and outs of the software, but really this video is just to highlight the M2 as the machine itself and not so much
a full tutorial on how to use this machine. You are definitely going to want to watch back some more videos that I plan on posting about this machine because it's actually really pretty easy to use. But I do think that like learning how to set up the machine properly and also how to like assemble this rotary so it actually works is an important thing. And to condense it all into a 20-minute video would be, unfair for you because there's just so much to digest with this machine. So if you're looking for more in-depth tutorials, just make sure and check back with me because I guarantee that there will be more coming for you on this one. But I just wanted to slow down a little bit to show you the assembly of this rotary attachment tool because it's actually kind of interesting. The laser magnetically goes with like an attachment, now comes up the side. It's very interesting. But within one try and in one uh, 11 minutes to figure out how to assemble something new, that's how long it took me, 11 minutes to go from start to ready to engrave. I mean, that's not bad at all. I'm really kind of enamored about is I don't even know if that's the correct word about the whole laser being on its side, but magnetically there. Like that's wild to me. And then I also wanted to include a whole time lapse of the M2 engraving this laser because wow, is that crazy? It's engraving on the side. And again, first try. And we already got some really great engravings. I cannot believe that it's able to create so quickly and easily. I've never had a machine be so easy to use before, so this is pretty mind-blowing.
After a quick bath, this is what the final product looks like. And I have to say, I'm wildly impressed for my very first time doing this. So easy to use. xTool is advertising the M2 as the first full color, best for everyday crafting laser on the market. And I have to say, I actually agree with them. I really do. In one afternoon, in a couple hours, I was able to set up a machine and get to cutting within minutes. I was able to cut felt super quick, a coaster with super fine details and no scoring burn marks anywhere, a printed full color cake topper, and also a perfectly engraved tumbler without any issues. All frustration free. This machine, in my opinion, is the best everyday crafter laser out there, and I've only used it for a couple hours. That's crazy. Now, I have had all of the xTool lasers, and I did think that the xTool M1 Ultra that is similar to this one was pretty good. However, it was always lacking that one feature being not having a camera. Now with the xTool M2, you now have the camera, which I think is the secret sauce into making sure that crafting is frustration free and also goes by so much quicker. Having a camera and not having to do any type of manual setup, I think is what makes this machine so amazing. So you have to tell me in the comments of this video, what do you think? Do you think that the new xTool M2 is going to be the death of Cricut? Are you gonna buy? Are you gonna pass? What's your thoughts? You let me know. All right, y'all, I sure hope I inspired you to create, and I'll see you on the next one.